Hi guys, so excuse the look. We landed in Boston, Massachusetts this morning at 5 a.m. So I'm still a little gross and we all took a nap. And now we are walking around Mount Auburn Cemetery and it's actually really, really cool. So I'm going to show you guys what we're seeing, and we're also trying to find ghosts, but we haven't gotten anything yet. This one looks super cool. Corna Lillman Warren and Richard Warren, founder in this country of the first system of the reform for younger culprits. Yeah. What? Oh, fun. I was like, why are we gobbling? But I'll gobble with you. Didn't even really ask. I like these little statues. And the ones with the moss growing on them. I'm all about that. Here lies a plot with dead people. There's wild turkeys. What? We'll have to see how late they're open for the ghost hunting.
This tomb got A coating.
A coating. That's okay. Eugene is in the corner all by himself. Poor Eugene.
This is a huge.
Tori. Nope, I'm wandering.
I think as long as we follow a road.
We should have left a pen where our car is so that Siri could tell us how to get back. How big is it?
Oh, like it goes like loop in and out, in and out, in and out.
We're actually in the center of it. So
Oh, cool.
So I think.
Yeah, like look at all the loop de loops.
Oh, so we've seen.
We've seen a good amount of it.
Watch out for ghosts throwing stuff right here. I did see some tree branches down there.
Dude, what just fell? Something fell out of the trees.
Yeah.
That's a pretty long drop.
I did see some. I am seeing some branches though.
Yeah?
Some big branches that fell down.
That fell down.
So I would be cautious.
As long as they don't follow me home, you know? Look, it's father and mother again.
It seems like a very common thing.
Yeah, what are their names? Like, why did they not have names on them?
Well, I think they bought the plot, like, so that has Knight, and then it has a couple names.
Okay, so Alice
So,
Knight and Betsy Knight, and then that would be father and mother?
I think so, or it'd be Abbott.
Or Abbott? Huh. I wonder if the visitor center says. I was just thinking of Adam's family. We'll just clean out the mausoleum. It will be like a camping party. Yeah, he's got a spear.
What's your name? What's your name? Oh, it was a woman. She hath done what she could.
Was she a knight? Because that looks like a knight's crest.
It looks like the Illuminati.
Does it?
Yeah.
Hmm. Is that a
Right
secret
here.
society? I don't know much about it.
It's the ones that were in the conquest for the Holy Grail.
It is Tuesday and we are spending today in Salem. And we just did the Witch Dungeon Museum, which is really cool. It's right behind me. And they actually give you a little history about the Salem witch trials around here. And I have a hat. But they explain what happened, and if you guys are ever in this area, you should definitely look at it. And then they show you what the dungeon looks like. So it's not an actual dungeon, it's a replica of the dungeon, right?
Yeah, recreation.
Yeah, but they said everything was measured by historians, so it is very, very accurate. But it was short, and then they had a little play at the front or like not the front, but the beginning of it too.
Mm.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So that was the first thing that we did, and we're gonna go see more. I think we got a couple more museums, right?
Yeah, we got the Witch History Museum and the New England Pirate Museum. It was a package.
Okay. Yeah, so it was a package, so you can pay for all 3 museums at one time, which is really awesome.
Like 31 per person is what it said.
Yeah, 31 per person, but it pays for all 3 museums, so it's like $10 per museum. And then we're gonna go look at the shops and stuff right after that, right?
Yeah.
I think Kat's gonna like the pirate museum.
Yeah.
There's a witch's pirate museum. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Did they tell you the times it starts? So?
The last one is at 5 p.m. is all they said.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as long as we hit them up before 5 p.m.,
And then
which I think we need to do those soon
Yeah.
because it's already 1:30,
yeah, but let's get some food.
and it
I'm
only
hungry
goes for
too.
today.
And then this one, we gotta figure out which night tour we want to do because it says reservations are recommended.
Yeah.
So if you
I'll,
pre-buy our tickets.
I'll do the Black Cat one's not open today, so I know they're not
Okay.
open Tuesday.
Well, we gotta look at it. Yeah, we gotta look at it. But we're gonna go. What's it called? The witch's house.
Witch's house. Yeah.
That's that way.
Yeah.
Forward. Onward. So now we are gonna go over to the witch's house. Get some cool pictures and stuff. I keep hanging onto my hat because it's just not. It's not staying. I think it's too wide. Too much of a wide brim.
Just like falling off.
Yeah, it's just. See, the inside of it's silky. Look at the inside.
You want to try this one?
No,
Oh,
I think so. See, the inside of it's silky.
Like
I think that's why it's slipping so much.
was like
I think so too. And then my hair's silky. So silk on silk. Slippy slidey. But that's okay. Okay, so here is the witch's house.
We're right here now.
But unfortunately it's all sold out, so we can't go inside.
We actually
But you can look at it. It's
straight
pretty.
down this road.
Technically, didn't we pay for it?
No, we paid for the other. There's 2 other ones. I don't know. It's really cool though. But all
let's
sold
get to
out,
the
sadly.
walk through a lot of stuff and then come back.
Yeah, we can circle back around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we just did the Witch History Museum, and it wasn't any more in depth. It was kind of the same, right?
Yeah,
It kind of seemed the same.
Talked more about the policeman.
Yeah, it talked more about the
Sheriff.
officials and like the sheriffs than it did the actual witches. Whereas the witch dungeon talked more about what the dungeons were like and what it was like for the people. So it's kind of a different side. It's crazy though. He was deemed the devil because his head was so large.
That was funny.
That was really actually kind of funny. Sad, but kind of funny. But yeah, that's the second museum that we saw. There is a lot of fun little shops around here. There's kind of a lot going on. And then the next one is the pirate one.
Pirate Witch Museum, I think is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then again, we just did we went to the dungeon one, the Witch's Dungeon Museum, and we paid for the combo pack. Yeah, which is $31 per person. So if you divide that up between the 3 museums, it's like $10 per museum, which is a pretty good deal if you want to see all of them. 'Cause it's $13 just for one of them, right?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Okay.
Hey, I found it on here.
Yeah.
Is that?
Sweet. They're all right there.
Yeah, that's all the do.
Okay.
That's
And then
right.
there's a lot of shops and stuff.
Cool.
And then I took a couple pictures and stuff, but they don't really let you do videos.
Exotic cargo merchants.
Cargo merchants.
Pretty much if we head that way.
Okay, so it is another day. I didn't really finish filming yesterday because what did we do? The Pirate Museum?
We did the Pirate Museum,
Which museum?
Yeah, we did a lot of the museums. I think the Pirate Museum is the one that I missed. But yeah, that one was pretty cool. It talked about the pirates in Salem. Was it the Pirate Museum? Yeah, it talked about the pirates in Salem, which was pretty fun. A little break from the witchery, even though witchery is fun. But it's fun to learn about all aspects of Salem, not just the witches. So, talking about the pirates, they have pirate boats that you can go see on the pier. Then we went to some fun shops. A lot of them are by appointment only. I'm thinking because of the COVID stuff. So if you're thinking about going into shops, make sure that you check to see if that you can go, because they're not all walk-in. Some of them are appointment only, because we wanted to make the brooms at the witchery, but brooms are by appointment only. And we didn't know that till today, and today is our last day here. So we went to Die With Your Boots On. That's a really fun store.
Both locations.
Yep, I got my first pair of creepers. Do a video.
Millie's just up here.
Yeah. We're going to Modern Millie's now. We were in there earlier, but I changed my mind about something, so we're going back. That's what we're doing. What else have we done? Oh, we went to Red Sandwich Shop.
At the Village Tavern.
And the Witches Village Tavern?
Village Tavern.
Today for food, we went to the Village Tavern, which is a little bit more on the pricey side, but it was really, really good food, and we just shared the nachos and the Cajun fries. We ordered the spicy fries, but they brought us the Cajun ones by mistake, but they're still pretty good. And then we just had water, because you need lots of water walking around here. Yeah, let's walk by the boba place. Yeah, we saw a boba place, and I love me some boba. I love me some boba. Yeah, so we went to Die With Your Boots On. Got my first pair of creepers, which I kept holding off on buying, on ordering, because I really wanted to get them in Salem. But that was a harder task than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, so apparently all the creepers sell out really, really fast. Sizes 7 through 10. I'm like an 8 to a 9. They had some 8s, but for creeper style, they were just too small. They were smashing my toes. But so I ended up finding the 9s on the spider webs. And then I just happened to get a hold of the pre-order, right?
Yeah.
And then I ordered the Jack ones, because those were the ones that I was really looking for. But we had to go to both of their locations to find them, because they were all sold out. So everything's selling out really fast. Yeah, still, I thought it was just Utah, but nope. Halloween's becoming popular.
Big on Christmas.
Yeah, it's becoming Christmas again. I'm trying to think of what else we did.
Yesterday?
Yeah,
That's what it
There's
is.
a
We
lot.
walked around,
yeah, we did a lot of walking
exploring.
and exploring. And yep. So my hat from yesterday kept falling off. Sorry, it's really bright. And so I got this one today. This really tiny, sorry,
Good.
modern witch hat is what they call it.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
Yeah, a little gray one. I have a black one coming in the mail that I ordered, but it didn't come in time for this trip. That's okay. We need witch hats in every color, right? I don't have a gray one yet. Yes, I do. I have the big gray one. I don't have a little gray one.
No, you don't.
There we go. I don't have a little gray one. That's justifying the purchase.
Very good.
And it has a wire in it though, so you can move it, shape it the way that you want. And I put it in my hair because it's actually really hot here. It's 75 degrees, kind of sweating. I honestly thought it was gonna be cold, so I packed all of these outfits for chilly weather, and it's not chilly at all.
No, it is back home.
Yeah, it is at home. I gotta wait for it to turn green.
I know.
Yeah, it snowed back home.
There it is.
It snowed back home. Watch, we're gonna go back home and it's gonna be hot, and then it's gonna start snowing here.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss the cold weather altogether.
We're taking the heat with us.
Yeah.
Because I run home.
The heat wave follows us. We came with our friends, but right now we parted off to go look at some more shops, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then after this, we're gonna go do the Hocus Pocus houses. We're gonna try and find them. Okay. We're gonna try and find all of the houses from the movie. They do provide a Hocus Pocus tour if you guys want to do that, but I'd rather just walk around and try to figure it out myself. And then that way, if it doesn't take as long as a tour would, I could get some more stuff in. But yeah, we are gonna go get boba and the Modern Millies. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Modern Millies. Okay, so we just went to the Pentagram Witchcraft shop. It's across the street from the cinema. It's really good boba.
It's really good.
But it was a pretty cool shop. It has 2 floors, a lot of witchcraft stuff. They have a Poseidon altar by the front door. So that was pretty cool. They had little wall plaques. So if you don't have a lot of space and you're working with deities, they have Aphrodite that can go on the wall, or like Green Man that can go on the wall, or the other ones.
The Green Man.
Zeus, I think they had a Zeus that can go on the wall.
They had a Zeus one. They had Pan.
Is it this way?
I think so. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, me too. Okay, let's go across. It's really warm. This hat looks fun with red hair.
I like the hat.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
That's Mr. Rose.
Mr. Rose.
That's what you're called.
What?
Mr. Rose. So I'm Anchora Rose. You're the Mr.
I'm Necky.
Look, there he is. His actual face. That's going to be the clickbait for this video. Mr. Rose's face.
Sorry, I'm fat.
Oh my God. Positivity. Come on. Here's my shirt for today.
There it is.
Ironically purchased from Modern Millie. Actually, that's a really long line. Should we look around and come back? Okay. But we'll come back. Yeah, there's a bag I saw that I really like. I want to get because the one that I'm wearing is breaking. So it's really old. Yeah. But I kind of brought it knowing that I would get a new one so I can throw this one away and take the new one home. That's how I get rid of stuff, huh? I'm gonna go to a shop called Village Silversmith. Oh, go ahead.
Cool.
There are supposed
They're
to be
gonna be
these
the same.
other, yeah, they're all kind of the same. They're a bunch of metaphysical shops. Some of them are cheaper than others. So it's good to look around to see what the price points are.
Focus, focus.
Yeah, that's the Hocus Pocus tours. If you wanted to do a tour. Oh, I forgot to say in the museums, I didn't film, but you are allowed to, and you're allowed to take pictures.
And flash. Sorry.
And 2 of them allowed flash photography. 1 of them did not. I thought there was like more, I don't know, fashion shops.
Yeah.
Kind of like the die with your boots on thing.
Yeah.
But
More. I'm not sure.
yeah. Yep. But it's pretty busy today and it's Wednesday. It's pretty slow yesterday. So if you're going to come to Salem, definitely do it at the beginning of the week, not the weekend. Yeah, we're just kind of walking around and exploring today. They have a trolley you can go on. They have a lot of haunted tours you can go on. We're trying to find one for tonight, but we waited a little too long, so they're all kind of sold out. Yeah, so if you want to do anything, make sure you buy your tickets ahead of time.
If it requires tickets, like the tours.
Mm-hmm. I need tours. Some of the shops are by appointment only, which I'm kind of sad. Yeah, I wanted to make a broom, but it's appointment only.
Ooh, Salem Armory.
Hmm.
It's a visitor center.
Yeah, and then they have the Witchery Mall, but I don't want to go inside. It seems a little crowded. Hippies use side door. Okay, we're gonna check out the Halloween Museum. Mayor of Halloween Town cast piece that they used for the actual Nightmare Before Christmas movie. And then here's another prop. Screen used prop. They use these. Pumpkin and the coffin. These are so cool. Oh, now they're really going. Okay. Whew. We just did, it's really warm. We just did the Halloween Museum. Or the Halloween Museum is actually pretty cool. It was a self walkthrough tour. And it had like the history of Halloween. And it had some props that you could look at. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And we're just looking at all the shops. So this is actually our last day in Salem specifically. I don't know where they're at. The map is really confusing. I'm not very good with maps. So if you're good at maps though, you could probably read it. So yep, that's all I have for you guys today, or right now. John Proctor, 1692. 69. Did the ones on the other side have dates? Or
Yeah,
did it just say
they were
16?
September.
Okay.
September 22nd or more.
Carrier. Photos. Probably should have got some more pictures inside the cemetery. Okay, so last thing that we did today was the cemetery. And it's pretty fun. It's free. You can just walk through it. It is the oldest cemetery in Salem, right? Or
Yeah,
in
that's what it says.
Massachusetts. Maybe it was in Massachusetts. Let's go across. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It had the ages on the tombstones, but yeah, on some of them didn't have any writing.
So they don't have any writing. Some were so weathered.
Yeah, some were super weathered that you couldn't really see the writing anymore. I was a little caught off guard because I thought everyone like back then died in their 50s because that's what they tell you, and now we live longer lives. But there was a lot of tombstones in there where they lived until they were 70 or 80 years old.
Giles Corey, the guy that was pressed to death, was
Yeah.
an 80-year-old man.
Giles Corey, the one that managed to managed to stay alive for 2 days as he was pressed to death, was 80 years old. So I think that age thing is a big fat lie. And they live just as long as we do now. So yeah, because most of the tombstones said like 70 or 80. There's a few in there in the 50s and 60s, but majority of it was 70 to 80.
It was just as rare as we are now.
Yeah, I've seen the same variety as now, so which kind of caught me off guard. And then they have a little center that you can go in that has a couple things in there, which was pretty fun. But yeah, I think that's it for today. And then that's our 2 days in Salem. We actually got a lot done. We really like the museums.
I love it.
Yep. And then I got a couple fun things. Yeah, but we're tired now.
I'm ready to sleep.
Ready to go. We're waiting for a night tour.
This is one of the oldest burial sites, if you go in tomorrow, that you will ever go in American history. So this is not technically a Puritan cemetery. It is our city public cemetery, but it's basically the Puritans who are buried here. It was opened up in 1637. So again, almost 400 years old, 1637. Now, if you can see what my cane is pointing, there is the light shining on a rectangular light gray grave. You see what my cane is pointing? It's not like the movie Ghostbusters. That is kind of white and thick, called amorphous. And then, of course, we have full body apparitions, and that is what I am hoping you will get tonight. Because as we focus on the tree, an apparition was seen about 15 years ago by a security guard on the beach as a museum, who from now on I would just say you know who. So you know who over there is a security guard. He sees 15 years ago a man as a full-bodied torso apparition appear from that tree. The man's about 6 foot tall. He's got a tricorn hat, wearing a long gray coat. Around his chest is strapped 12 pistols. It's called a bandolier. He's got belt-buckled shoes. He's got smoke around his head, and his beard is on fire. Does not mean the major traumatic and dramatic events occurred in the building per se. And that's called imprint. Again, you probably heard it on the ghost shows. So let's dive deep. First of all, the hotel is about 100 years old. It will be in 2025. So it was built in 1925. It's Art Deco. A lot of us call it the Shining Hotel. If you go up to the 6th floor, you will know what I mean. All right? They're very narrow. It's very old and very tight. It is booked up 7 years in advance. It is now capped at 2. You can now book it if you can get it Halloween weekend 2023 already. You could book it. What is going on in 325? Okay, so we have a gentleman, and he's in bed, and you're sleeping, all right? And if you don't mind, a little boy appearing out of the ground at the end of your bed, and he's staring at you, and he's crying. Oh, keep looking at me, sir, because I'm looking at you. Then, on the other side, a woman appears, full adult woman. Think of like The Shining. Remember with Jack Nicholson with the bathroom scene? Okay. A woman appears. She is not just looking at you like a boy. She has now decided, I don't know how ghosts can decide things, but the ghost decided to lift up your sheets. Now you're in bed sleeping, but of course you're now awake. She is now grabbing your toes, reaching for your ankles, and trying to pull your body feet first out of the bed. Okay. Mary Beckford is being verbally abused. It's like Downton Abbey gone wrong. She's a relative, but she's treated more like a maid. She knows that also if her uncle dies and his will has disappeared, she will get exponentially more money than if he just dies and they show the will. And one last thing, Mary Beckford is of course a woman. They are very misogynist. How could a woman ever be smart enough to plan murder? That's exactly what she does. Let the men carry it out because we're stupid.
Give your light.
Right, we'll do
Let
what
me
the
shine it
ladies
up
say.
there.
Kind of like the old, happy wife, happy life. So what happens is Mary Beckford's got a son-in-law. His name is Joe Knapp Jr. He's a down on his luck sea captain. Let him carry it out with his brother named Frank Knapp and the psychopath Richard Crowninshield of Danvers. And by the winter of 1830, it is finalized. Mary is no longer living in the house. She has left a window out back. By April 4th, 1830, Joe Knapp Jr. gets into the mansion up to the bedroom on the upper left. Now, again, you're going to want to take some random images, but again, really focus a lot of your pictures on that room to the left. Okay? Now, Joe is too much of a coward to kill the captain. He will steal the will. So he's done his job. 2 nights later, Richard Crowninshield is not afraid to commit murder. He gets into the house around 10 o'clock at night on April 6th. He takes a weapon, and it's called a cudgel. It's like a big baseball bat, known as a bludgeon. It's got a lead handle, and supposedly it was dipped in lead. And supposedly he takes this and fractures the skull of the case. You're looking at your phone. You're on Jeff's phone. Now, he fractures the skull of the captain, and then he goes Manson.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thank you. Yeah. Really? Oh man.
Gotta get Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff's the best. You had a lot of energy. That was the Black Cat tours, right?
Yeah, that's Black Cat.
Okay, yeah. So we did the Black Cat night tours where they give you history of Salem. A little more in depth than the museums. Kind of touched on the original Salem dungeon, not the replica museum that we went to. But if you do that one, the rumor is you have to get the tour guide Jeffrey. He's the better one, right? Yeah. So.
That's who we got.
Yeah, that's exactly who we got, which is actually really, really, really cool. And now we are trying to find the ghost voices. Got a couple. As we're walking.
There is something like that.
Yeah, we're catching words here and there. But, are you sure? Nope. It's our last day in Salem.
Ooh, really? Yeah. Yeah.
Take 1 mile to
Oh
ride
my
onto
God.
Wellington Street.
But this guy had 4 puppies. Fucking 4 puppies.
These are really cool buildings.
Yeah, I'm walking in.
Ooh, look at that one. It's got cherubs and gargoyles on it. They have a lot of that greeny blue color in the buildings. So today we are in Boston, looking at the Edgar Allan Poe statue. It's a pretty small statue. I thought it was going to be bigger.
Is that a free tour?
I don't know.
I don't know. Look, I'm going to stand next to it. This is how small it is. It's the size of me. I'm 5'2". He's a little man. We can give him a high five. He's got his heart spilling out of the back and everything. The raven's really big though. Wonder why they made the raven so big. Okay, and then we're gonna go look at the Boston Tea Party thing, right? And then what was the other one? Oh, the bookstore, an old bookstore. Okay, so the parking that we found was called what? Motor Mart Garage. Okay, and it's across the street from the Edgar Allan Poe statue, so that makes it easy to find. And then now we're gonna walk over to the Boston Tea Party Museum, which is like 20 minutes from where we're at right now, because we don't want to find parking again. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's pretty cute. Oh, we gotta pull up the directions again?
Oh my goodness. It's the dog from the commercial.
Is it? They have a cemetery over there in the park too. So park across the way, and then
You want to go see that on the way back?
yeah, we can.
I think it's this way.
That way? Okay, and the museum's like a mile away, so we're gonna walk. We're gonna walk.
Oh, it's this way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we have no idea where we're going. Oopsie doodle. That's funny. Did you find it?
Yeah, I have it. I'm trying to get it to
go?
Walking distance.
Scheme. Yeah, I like that Maps has the walking directions. Makes it.
Down here is an anxiety attack.
I'm sorry. I'm glad you did it though. I probably would have full-blown panicked in the car. I don't think I'd be able to handle driving here. Mm-mm. Nope. Park and walk in. Park and walk. Okay, off to museum we go.
Probably a lot of that.
Okay, so we didn't go inside the museum. We just walked around inside, or around the gift shop, and then around the outside. And then you can see the pirate ship that goes from Salem to Boston, which is a pretty cool looking ship. And then we walked over to the Corner bookstore, I think is what it's called. And it's one of the oldest bookstores in Massachusetts.
269.
And I actually found a really cool old book. It is the art book for the original Star Trek series. Right here. And if you see my Instagram or anything, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of the original series. So, those are really tiny.
I don't know which one has
That one? Oh, look, yes. And then we stopped to get something to eat. It's been a lot of walking. And we're at the, they both have pita. What is it called?
Pita.
No, the place, the restaurant.
Oh, the rice.
The rice. Chicken and rice, guys, I think is where we're eating at now. But it's been really hard finding gluten-free food, to be honest. Real hard. I think it's just slower when you just stand on it. Yeah. On our way home, guys. I'm gonna do slow walks. Maybe if I don't look at stuff around me, I won't get sick. These make me feel really sick. Hi. So we are home now. I had filmed another outro thing right when we got back, but I didn't really like the way that it looked. So we've actually been home for a few days now. But our trip in Salem was a lot of fun. There's so much to see out there. And sadly, we didn't get a chance to see the Hocus Pocus houses, which was one of the things on our list. But it turns out that it isn't directly in Salem. I always thought that they were around like the main city part of Salem, but they're actually like a few miles out, like a 10-minute drive. And so it wasn't really something that we could walk to or that we had time to drive over and see. So I'm really sad that we missed the Hocus Pocus houses, but there's always a next time. But yeah, everything else though, we were able to get in. We fit in a bunch of museums, as you guys saw, and even like an after hours ghost tour, which was a lot of fun. Even though it wasn't super active, we did get to see at least one ghost, which was pretty cool. We did try to use the voice box thing to communicate with them, but again, they just weren't very active that night. But yeah, I was really excited to come home. It was kind of a stressful trip for me just because I have a lot of anxiety, and Massachusetts is super congested. Like, I know I complain about my city being busy all the time, but now that I'm home, it feels so much more spacious than Massachusetts did, especially Boston. Boston was a bit much for me. So just keep that in mind. If you also get really nervous around large crowds of people or loud traffic or even loud noises, Massachusetts is definitely filled with all of that. Salem itself is crowded, but it's not super loud, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it was still a lot of fun. And I did purchase my first pair of creepers. I waited until the Salem trip to do that. I really wanted some of the Halloween ones that they came out with to be my first pairs, because there's something I've always had my eye on, but I've never been able to splurge on them because they are kind of expensive. So I definitely saved up and was able to do that on this trip, which I was really, really excited about. It was hard to find the Halloween ones though. My size, they were pretty much sold out in everything. That didn't even have like plain black ones. But I did happen to finally run across the spider web creepers. So I was able to get those. And then right when I was on the trip, Strange Cult released their pre-order for this year's Halloween. So I was able to order the jack-o'-lantern ones as well. Which was more than what I intended because I was just going to buy the one pair, but now I have two of them and they actually just happened to arrive the day that we got home, which was perfect. So make sure you guys look out for a haul so I can show you everything that I got on the Salem trip. It wasn't a whole lot, but there were things that I saved specifically to get in Salem because they're things that I wanted, but I just thought it would be fun to have that experience tied to them as well, which is more of an energy thing. They'll have the energy of Salem and then the great memories tied to them as well. So that makes them more cherishable to me anyways. So yeah, that is the end of this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, it was a really fun time in Salem. I do need to practice a little bit on traveling, especially with my anxiety. Maybe I'll do a video coming up on how I manage my anxiety while I travel because we do go on trips a couple times a year. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And again, thank you so much for the growth that we've had on the channel lately. And I'm excited to see where this goes. Let me know down below if there's any future videos you guys would like to see. Do you want me to continue on the Halloween line all year, or would you like to see more of the witchcraft side? So if you guys can tell me down below, and please consider subscribing because I would love to see the community grow even further, and give this video a big thumbs up. But until next time, keep on spooking all you ghouls and spooky ears. Bye.